I got asked if being a chef is worth it or having a career in food is worth it. And you would think that this would be a really simple question to answer. Yes or no? Is it worth it? It depends. It depends on the level of passion you have for food and for cooking. It's really more of a type of art because if you think about it, anybody can grab a piece of meat and grill it or cook it and serve it. What makes it worth it personally for me is the it's the people. I'll give you an example. There was a kid that came in, and his father, the kid won his baseball game, little league, and the dad was like, you know what? Let's go celebrate. Let's go out for pizza. And so they went out looking for pizza, and we were in kind of a small town. Everything was closed. So this kid's kind of like feeling sad, because he doesn't. I mean, he doesn't want to eat frozen pizza at home. So they found our place. I wasn't an executive chef. I was just a cook at the time. And he brought his kid in as I'm walking up to lock the door because it's 9 o'clock. We close at 9. He told me his story. I didn't really have to think about it very long, but the thought process was like, you could make this kid's night by giving him some time with his dad and just making a pizza. They can sit down and eat. You can clean up. It's no big deal. And so I did. Made 2 pizzas because they were it was kind of like a Subway pizza, Subway version of pizza where you have like these little round pieces of dough that we make, and you walk them through the line. What kind of sauce would you like? What kind of cheese would you like? Toppings, whatever. And then they go in a wood fire oven. Wood fire oven's like, well, it's not a wood fire oven, but it was a brick oven. They go in at 800 degrees. They take like, a minute and a half, 2 minutes to cook, something like that, and they're done. And they get served, and they got quality time together, and he got to celebrate his baseball win. And there's the business side of it. It's like, oh, they're regular customers now, right? But really for me, it was what they got out of it, because it's just food. It's just food. Like, what's the big deal? But there's kind of an experience that comes with it when you go out somewhere to get food. We're in the back. A lot of times people don't even see us, and we make the food. We cook the eggs. We make the crepes. We cook the steak. We grill the meat. And there's a lot of things that they don't see. They don't see the manager leave the store to go pick up something because we ran out unexpectedly, and they left and went to the store and bought something, brought it back just so we could make this person's plate of food. That's really what you're paying for. It's the experience, the service, and yes, the food. So from that angle, yeah, it's totally worth it. If you like to create things and you have a passion for it and you like making people happy and you want to provide that experience, I wouldn't be doing this for 20 years if it wasn't worth it. Let's talk about work-life balance. I work about 55 hours a week, 50 to 55 hours a week. About 12 hours a week I spend driving, and about 6 to 7 hours a night I spend sleeping if I get to sleep. I get weekends off because I work for corporate. It's a corporate entity. So I cook for people in a corporation, not a corporate chef, literally speaking. Pretty good food. Brined chicken, ribeye that we trim, 120 pounds of trimmed ribeye, trimmed and cut. So it's good food. I love it. I've learned so much here. I've learned so much where I am at right now. But the work-life balance sucks. I get about 11 hours Monday through Friday of free time. And by free time, I mean not working, sleeping, or driving. So that free time means eating. It means doing chores. It means doing the dishes, cleaning the kitchen, helping with homework, playing with the kids, walking the dogs, hanging out with the wife, playing video games. All of it is wrapped up into that about hour and a half to 2 hours that I get when I get home before I get ready to go to bed. So in that end, no. If you want a family life, it's not worth it. It's just not. It sucks. If you want to really be there for a family, even my job. So I work during the day because I'm cooking. Again, I'm cooking for corporate people that are in the office Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 kind of thing. But even as a night cook, you're usually getting there. I mean, it depends on the shift, but a lot of people will show up about 3 or 4. Typically a night shift is like 3 or 4 p.m. it just depends. Sometimes you work till close. Sometimes you work till volume. So you're getting out of there about 9:30ish. It depends. Like I said, everywhere's different. Sometimes places are just busy all the time. There's a Texas Roadhouse and a Bubba's here where I live, and when they're open, there's just packed parking lot constantly. So they may work different hours. 24-hour restaurants, you could work a 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. shift. There's 3 or 4 p.m. to, like I said, 3 or 4 to like 9 or 10. There's 5 to close. Like there's all kinds of shifts. Then there's morning prep. And those shifts you work. Monday and Tuesdays are usually the days you get off. Some people are Monday and Wednesday or Tuesday and Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are usually the slower days in the week. And then the rest of the week kind of like builds to a crescendo. And then, then there's like Sunday. Some places have brunch or they're not open. It just depends. So, but the Sunday is a church crowd. So if you're not open on Sundays, you're missing out, basically. A lot of places will open for brunch because of the church crowd. But then Monday and Tuesday is typically the days off. So that's good if you need to do things. Like if you want to schedule a doctor's appointment, you can schedule it for that day off and you don't have to request any time off. The average pay around here is anywhere from about $15 to $18 an hour. And then you have to be able to work full time, usually nights, weekends, holidays. 15 to 18 where I'm at it's enough to survive, pay rent and be like happy, I guess, like comfortable, but it's not really enough to like produce a savings and, do the things that a lot of boomers expect you to be able to do. Put money aside, pay off your debt, that kind of stuff. Most places, you're going to be lucky to get $15 an hour. Especially if you're starting out, if you're coming in from fast food or you don't have any experience, 15 is about what you can expect, which you can go work at McDonald's for $15 an hour. So is it worth it? Is it worth the extra stress, pressure? Purely from a financial aspect, $15 an hour for the amount of stress that comes with this job, it is not worth it. That's why I said there's this other element. There's this other element there of the desire and drive to produce food and to learn a skill set. It really depends on the person, but if you want to do this, the barrier to entry is really low and the potential to learn is really good. And of course, I'm going to plug my videos, Restaurants Basics playlist, but I'm also going to say that there's an initiative that you need to take when you start. Because I made a mistake. When I say 20 years of experience, it sounds good. It sounds like, man, but I would say I only really have about half that much experience because the first 10 years were spent in places like family restaurants where they microwave a lot of food. So you learn things like sense of urgency and cleaning and some leadership, but you don't really learn a lot. I spent about a year and a half in fine dining, and then there was some institutional stuff where they didn't really care as much about the quality of food. They said they did, but they really didn't. There's not a lot of solid quality experience I have up until about half that time had gone by. And then I got into leadership roles and I learned how to run a kitchen, do orders and all that stuff. I would say the job overall is worth it depending on what you put into it and what you want to get out of it. And one thing that I would highly recommend doing is get a variety of experience. Work in fast food if you want to. I didn't work in fast food, but I'm just saying everything's on the table from fast food to fine dining. Work in a barbecue place. Work at a buffet. Work for a college. Work for a corporation like I am. Work at a hotel. Do banquet dining. Work as a catering chef. Get some catering experience. Work as a short order cook. Work in an Applebee's. Work at Le Restaurant, the really high end. Get those plating skills. Listen to what people say. Don't ever think you're done learning. Always push yourself to get better. Start looking for a new job when you get comfortable. Push yourself to learn new skills. Force yourself. Study at home. Get books. If you do all this kind of stuff, you'll start pushing yourself. The line of your abilities will start going up and up and up and up. I can make a hollandaise now with my eyes closed. It's easy. there was a time where I didn't ever want to have to make a hollandaise because I didn't know I didn't know how to cook rice even, let alone hollandaise. Now like people are asking me for tips on rice and I'm like, man, I guess I did learn how to cook rice well. I think those kinds of questions are important. The world needs more good quality cooks and people that really care about the people, about the job, about the food. You should feel like you're doing more than just trying to get a paycheck. And if you don't feel anything besides, I just want a paycheck, I just need somewhere to work there for a time, but I would suggest getting out of there and finding something that you truly love doing, whatever that is. Go to school, learn the skill that you really want to learn. I actually left school in a video that's going to be popping off on Sunday. It'll be what day? Third. It'll be the 4th. On February 4th, 8 a.m., I have a video popping off and I talk about this a little bit. I started out, I wanted to be a drug and alcohol counselor and I was going to school for it. And then I started to look into psychology as a possibility. While I was taking classes, I was still doing my generals. I had already been cooking for years at that point. I mean, granted, it was only like 2 or 3 years, but it still was years. And I was like, if I just keep doing what I'm doing, like by the time I'm 30, I'll have a ton of experience in the kitchen. And I actually like cooking. Like I like to cook. I like the pressure of the kitchen. I like producing awesome stuff. I love people taking pictures of food that I make. Why am I going to pay thousands and tens of thousands of dollars to go to school while I'm like, the answer is right in front of my face? Stop going to school for that. I went to culinary school instead. And now I'm 38, student debt's paid. I'm good, I like what I do. I hope that answered your question. If anybody watching this does have any more questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. So you're seeing a polished product, but at this point in the video, it is 24 minutes and 30 seconds. And this is probably not going to be anywhere near that. Anyways, you guys have an awesome day. I'll see you on the next one.